Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Tuesday, December 13th, around 2 p.m. Mountain Time 2022. Take a look at the models. Minus 48 degrees predicted for Montana just a few days before Christmas. And as that plume moves east, we could be looking at another iguana apocalypse for Christmas Day. But the big story, a massive winter storm is bringing blizzard conditions and threatening tornadoes in the central U.S. Keep calm, it's boom time. Now take a look at this system. From Canada down to Mexico, a giant winter storm is bringing severe weather Tuesday to the central U.S. with dangerous blizzard conditions in the central and northern plains. Here's what to expect. Blizzard conditions are expected Tuesday and Wednesday for parts of the central and northern plains, with snow at times expected to fall at rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour amid powerful 40-mile-per-hour winds. An enhanced risk for severe storms Tuesday stretches from eastern Texas to northern Louisiana and southwestern Mississippi, with tornadoes, large hail, and damaging straight-line winds possible. This tornado watch is in effect Tuesday morning for parts of Texas and southern Oklahoma, and we'll get to all those forecast maps. And the greatest flash flooding threat will be Tuesday and Wednesday from the lower Mississippi Valley into the central Gulf Coast. So there's also a freezing rain and sleet threat possible through Wednesday in the upper Midwest. So just a cocktail for disaster as highway closures begin as the snowstorm is hitting Wyoming. No unnecessary travel. There's black ice on I-80, and there are closures across the upper Midwest and the plains. Now, there were damaging tornadoes that struck Texas and Oklahoma already from this front. As you can see, some of the damage there. And I don't have any details here, but here we have live damaging Oklahoma tornado rated as an EF2 as other twisters touch down in the central U.S. Let's take a look at some of the updates here, which are lots of new ones. Here's the severe thunderstorm threat today with flooding downpours, hail, tornadoes, and damaging winds from New Orleans is basically in the middle out to Mobile. Here's your severe thunderstorm threat for Florida. And we do have 2 injured from severe storms in the Dallas-Fort Worth suburbs. 2 hours ago, the National Weather Service confirmed an early morning EF2 in Oklahoma. As we can see here on the satellite, that front, all the way from central Mexico up into Canada. This is a massive system. As Interstate 90 is closed in South Dakota. Let's take a look at some of those shots over on the tweeter. You can see here I retweeted this. So you can always go over to Oppenheimer Ranch Project at Diamond the Dave and check us out where you get the latest updates from SDOT, for instance. Now here is that enhanced risk for severe weather. Here's the tornado threat right there in central Louisiana, the wind threat in the same area, and the hail threat going all the way to the coast. All the links for all these forecasts will be below. And here's a look at Northern California rain and snow totals. Some massive amounts of rain, 3.57 in Paradise, 4.4 inches of rain in Blue Canyon, 3.05 in Sonora, and 1.35 inches in San Fran. This brings the rain season up 150% of average, which is awesome for the Sacramento area. And here's the snow report. Sugar Bowl picked up 53 inches in the last 72 hours. Palisades, 52. Sierra at Tahoe, 53. Kirkwood, 41. And Boreal, 54 inches of the global warming goodness. Now, the winter storm is bringing blizzard conditions today, and let's take a look at what's happening.
This morning, severe winter weather roaring across the nation. In the Dakotas, ice is the big problem. Slick roads causing accidents on the road overnight.
You can see here on the truck, that's pure ice right there.
And in below freezing temperatures, locals hopeful they don't lose power and heat.
My family's gonna hunker down and pray that the electricity stays on so we don't freeze.
Whiteout conditions pummeling the Rockies overnight with winds blowing up to 50 miles per hour. Colorado under its first blizzard warning in 2 years. It's one of several states on high alert this morning. In North Dakota, snowplow crews preparing to dig the state out of the anticipated big storm. Heavy snow also hitting the Central Plains. They're anticipating up to 2 feet in northern Nebraska and western South Dakota.
Stay home if you can, stock up on supplies.
In some areas, snow and ice-covered streets already making driving dangerous. In Utah, slick roadways caused this bus to lose control and crash onto its side. More than 20 passengers were hospitalized, including 2 in critical condition.
The clear thought that hit me is when everyone just started panicking, screaming.
Severe weather also making air travel brutal for many this week.
I want to go home. I'm tired.
On Monday, almost 3,900 flights were delayed and 173 canceled. And in some regions experiencing major snowfall, travel could be close to impossible in the coming days. On the West Coast, in Arizona, a rarely seen or heard winter weather phenomenon, thunder snow.
Holy macaroni, it looks like a show out there, kids. So if you don't have to, don't travel, hunker down, light a fire, and read a book. Here's the forecast. Major winter storm continues to bring significant widespread weather hazards to the central U.S. Currently 6 states under blizzard warnings. That's the red spots. And more than 8 states with winter storm watches and warnings for this system. You can see that severe weather threat lit up here down in Texas, as well as the flood threat. As this powerful winter storm is bringing widespread impacts to the central and southern U.S. today into Thursday. Impacts will reach the East Coast on Thursday. Heavy snow, blizzard conditions, strong winds, and ice to the northern plains and upper Midwest. Severe thunderstorms, including strong tornadoes and excessive rainfall, which may lead to flooding from East Texas to the Florida Panhandle. So it is a fun week we're having, and you can see that storm current position bombing out right now, and it's going to sit there and slowly move east like a beast, and then it's pretty clear. Let's take a look at the snow totals as they progress through Wednesday. There's the totals through Wednesday. Heavy snow, 16 inches or more in North, South Dakota, and even Minnesota and Wisconsin. Take a look. This is through Thursday, Friday morning. That snow is going to be developing heavy in West Virginia, Virginia, up into PA, and then that's going to just rafe up into New England. So there is your forecast for the next 5 days. And let's talk about this cold and the potential iguana apocalypse on Christmas morning. Look at these lows, 28 degrees for central Florida, all of Texas in the 20s or colder. So there are going to be some freezing problems for Texas, worse than before. It's going to be well below freezing for days as we approach Christmas. So this might be a bad time to be unprepared in the South. And all of these southern states, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day will remain below freezing. So be prepared for an extended freeze that's dropping to 13 degrees here. Holy macaroni, 12. And we did see minus 50 up here, minus 50 in Montana as early as Thursday, December 22nd. So this is a very dangerous cold event that's coming. And, well, be prepared. Don't be scared. No one is coming to help you. Seismic update. All is quiet on the Western Front. We've got a frat quake and just some minor activity on the Ring of Fire. 2 northern quakes here up in Alaska are quite interesting. Here's a rumbler in China. And a large quake here in Iran that's probably ruffled some feathers at 5.2, if not collapsed some buildings. Now, the Tonga volcanic eruption continues to astonish, and astonishing it is. Occurring within a 5-minute period, each of these blows is calculated to have a force of 1 billion tons of TNT. And it is a further revelation about the behavior of Hunga Tonga Haipai that the seamount produced the biggest atmospheric explosion ever recorded by modern instruments. Far bigger even than any nuclear bomb test conducted after World War II. And it displaced some 10 cubic kilometers of rock and ash and sediment, much of it exiting through the volcano's mouth or caldera and to shoot straight up into the sky like a shotgun blast, some of it even reaching space. And that caldera it formed is over 860 meters deep. That is a half a mile deep. And that is the new caldera of the Hunga Tonga Haipai volcano and the former position of Hunga Tonga Haipai Islands. which are mostly blown away at this point. Worldwide volcano news update. Cotopaxi is continuing to rumble to 21,000 feet, a new volcano on our list, as we have some spectacular pictures of fuego and lava flow eruptions continuing to move down the side. Absolutely spectacular. This activity is considered Strombolian and makes me hungry. Space weather news update. The sun is peppered with sunspots, little activity happening on the sun, even though there are multiple spots peppering the disk. So we are now approaching solar max for the next 2 years in the sunspot cycle, and the sun is in fact acting as a solar minimum sun because we are in grand minima. NASA loses contact with the Icon spacecraft. This spacecraft was set up to explore, well, the ionosphere. And the Icon mission is working to troubleshoot the issue that has narrowed the cause of the communication loss to problems within the avionics or RF communication subsystem. The team is currently unable to determine the health of the spacecraft, and the lack of downlink signals could be indicative of a system failure. Could it be that NASA is unaware of the uptick in our sun and the waning magnetosphere? I don't think so. Maybe they're just too cheap to make a product that will actually last. Or maybe they don't understand the laws of physics. Well, or maybe the laws of physics don't actually exist. Did you know that what we call the laws of physics are often just mathematical descriptions of some part of nature that aren't laws at all? Yeah. Ultimate physical laws probably don't exist. And that means, well, we really don't know anything. Now, do we? And new revelations about Viking knots link them with quantum vortices. It doesn't get any weirder, does it? These are vortex structures that are impervious to decay in the quantum world. And in a new study, scientists at the Aalto University in Finland have demonstrated how 3 vortices can be linked in a way that prevents them from being dismantled. Curiously, the structures of the links resemble a pattern used by Vikings and other ancient cultures in knot making. Mind blown. Now mark your calendar for the strongest meteor shower of the year. We talked about it the other night. The Geminids, known for bright, intensely colored meteors, have been streaking across the night sky since late November. But the shower will peak the night of December 13th, tonight, through December 14th. That's tomorrow morning. So get out and look up. And maybe, just maybe, you'll see a colorful Geminid. Now, good news, the former FTX CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, just got fried. He got arrested in the Bahamas, and this morning they unsealed his indictment. And he is being charged with everything in this 14-page indictment, which we will link below for some easy reading. And here are just some of the charges. Count 8, conspiracy to defraud the United States and violate campaign finance laws. Wow, that's a big one. I bet you that's not a slap on the wrist. Count 6, conspiracy to commit securities fraud. Count 5, conspiracy to commit commodities fraud. Count 4, wire fraud on lenders. Count 3, conspiracy to commit wire fraud. This guy is fried. Well, that is his last name, and that's a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. I hope you got something out of the video. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Become a Patreon, support the work we do. Happy holidays, we love you. And that's a boom.